Hello, my name is Brianna Garcia, and I will be discussing the interracial communication concepts such as culture, identity development, and I will be discussing the 4 stages, how to maintain an interracial romantic relationship. Lastly, I will cover how my thinking has shifted over this past course. When I first heard the term interracial communication, I had an idea of what it meant. I picked out my context clues and I picked out the word race that was in the word interracial. And what I noticed is that I thought of it as different races coming together in communication, and that's what I thought it meant. Another guest was taking the interracial communication term as a word that defines someone with multiple races and how they communicate it differently to that one specific race alone. In my textbook, Interracial Communication, The Theory into Practice by Mark Obie, this is what he defined. Interracial communication as communication between whites and non-whites, or more generally, as communication between people or different racial groups within the same nation state. From the following definition, it is the transactional process of message exchange between individuals in a situational context where racial differences is perceived as a salient factor by at least one person. There are many concepts I learned over the course, and I have to pick a few of them. But what I do want to discuss is the culture identity development models, and there is 3 stages to this. The first one is, according to Feeney, is an unexamined culture identity. The second one is identity search, or culture identity search. And the third one is culture identity achievement. For the first stage of unexamined culture identity, many of us take for granted our values, our beliefs, our norms, and customs, and any other characteristics. We all go through this typically at a very young age, and most of us go through it within the first years of our lives. The second stage is the culture identity search. And this one's very important to us as we discover and examine. And it's an ongoing process of exploration and reflection and evaluation, pretty much just to see who we are in our identity. And this also is caused by conflicting messages by our friends, our family, co-workers, and even the media, that they give out these negative messages of ethnicity. And the last stage is culture identity achievement. This one is a stage that we should all be proud of, because this is where we develop a clear and confident understanding of who we are and what our identity is in our culture. I also learned a lot about the interracial romantic relationships. I can kind of relate to this because I have grown up with me liking and being attractive to white men. And so I actually dated white guys, and I can definitely relate to this. And so I want to go through the interracial relationship development model that describes and shows how to manage and keep this relationship. There are 4 stages to this, and the first one is racial awareness. It is when partners must address social frames and come out of the closet and let their friends and family know about their relationship with the different race that they are involved with. And a lot of these people get stereotyped that they have low self-esteem, or they have poor relationship quality because they are in a interracial romantic relationship. The second stage is coping, and this involves partners getting closer together and pulling other people away, getting them out of the way of interpersonal networks that are trying just to destroy them. Family and friends are big influences, and they are always pressuring the couple. But I think it's beautiful and awesome because the couple chooses not to fight against the people that are doing these negative things to them, but the couple chooses to fight for their relationship and creating different strategies in order to keep them together. The next stage is identity emergence, and during this stage the partners make their relationship official to family and friends, and not only that, but they work together and partner together to protect their relationship from any negative racial opinions. And lastly, the final stage is maintenance, and it requires a long-term relational commitment, and it continues to communicate and present that they can show people that they're going to love each other, they're going to defend each other, they're going to fight for this relationship, and that they won't let any outsiders invade in their personal relationship or hurt their relationship. So like, I definitely admire couples that are different races because every race is beautiful. And knowing these concepts and many more, I've learned that this course has helped me to be open-minded about dating different races and exploring different cultures. It doesn't matter what people think of an interracial relationship as long as respect is given. And lastly, I want to end with this example. I went to Dallas for New Year's with my boyfriend, and I visited his family there and got to meet a lot of people. I talked to his cousin, Ashley, and she was just a great girl. She was pretty cool. She was a senior in high school, and we just talked about everything. And the main topic that really got me was the question I asked her if she had a boyfriend. Clearly, she said yes. And I said, how long have y'all been dating? And she answered, for about a year. And then my initial response, because me thinking she's Hispanic, I'm thinking she's dating a Hispanic guy, I asked her, does he know Spanish? And she said, no. Like, she just looked down, and she looked distraught and a little bit embarrassed, and she just looked away and said, no, he doesn't, he's black. And what really got me is that she wasn't confident, she wasn't excited that she's dating a black guy. She's seen that she was embarrassed, and it just really reminded me that a lot of people stereotype, oh, you have jungle fever, and I think that's the wrong term to use, and that's not the acceptable term to use for an interracial romantic relationship. It's not the way to address it, and we shouldn't be giving that word that power or meaning. But I did learn that it is great to be open and to explore different cultures and relationship, and before we can love anyone else, we have to love ourselves. And I think it's really great just to know that there is people out there that if we just give them a chance, whether they're a different race, we'll never know if we will truly like them or even love them. And so we must be confident in who we are first, in our identity, and understand what culture we come from. And lastly, the author of my book said, identity formation along these lines is best seen as becoming rather than being. And interracial communication is an important term, not just to know the meaning, but to respect the terms that go in depth with this topic. Thank you.